Howdy, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be reviewing and ranking the Echo and Echo Lite by Axolom. This video is a bit special because it's going to be a 2-for-1 where I'll be comparing the Echo and Echo Lite to see which one I prefer. Like always, I'll be ranking these prosthetics based off of 5 different criteria. The first one's going to be looks and realism. Will it look natural if I wear this into the shower? Next one is going to be comfort and packability. Will it look or feel like I have a boner when I wear this? Next one is going to be squishiness. How soft is this prosthetic and will it pass a grab test? Next is pricing. Will I be broke if I buy this prosthetic? Yes or no? And then finally, my overall ranking and would I recommend this to people. I'd like to point out that I bought these prosthetics with my own money. Nobody sent them to me for review. I wasn't given money to say anything about these, and everything will be my own opinion. And if something works for me, it may not necessarily work for you, so please keep that in mind. Quick little side note, I actually recorded this video ahead of time before I had an affiliate link with Axolom. You can use the discount code STPsRUS during checkout for 5% off your order. While I now do have an affiliate link with Axolom, I still give my own honest opinion on these prosthetics, and they're all still bought with my own money. I didn't receive them for free or anything. If you do decide to buy from Axolom, I would appreciate if you use the discount code or affiliate link. All the proceeds from it do go back into the channel. Thank you. Before we get started, I'd like to give you fair warning that what you're about to see are prosthetics that look like penises. If this bothers you in any way, please feel free to click off. Thank you for watching as long as you did, and have a good one. Alright, here is the Echo and the Echo Lite by Axolom. Give you a little wrap around. Here's the Echo, has a tab on it. A little wrap around of it. And then here is the Echo Lite. Looks very similar. It's the same mold with some key differences. This one doesn't have a tab. The size specs that these share is shaft length is 3.5 inches or 9 centimeters. Shaft diameter is 1.4 inches or 3.6 centimeters. The base width is going to be 2.4 inches or 6 centimeters. The specs difference between these is the Echo is 165 grams or 5.8 ounces. And the Echo Lite is 130 grams or 4.6 ounces, so it's a little bit lighter. These are about the same size as a peach, weight-wise. The Echo costs $62 USD, while the Echo Lite costs $45 USD. For these prosthetics, they can come in 8 different color options. These ones in particular come in C4. For my pricing tier, I'm going to put the Echo into Worth It tier. This has a lot of great features for the price, and in general, I find that Axolom has a lot of affordable prosthetics, and because the Echo Lite is $17 cheaper, it's going into the bargain tier for being under $50 USD. When I received the package, it came in an unsealed box, and inside that box was their branded box, and inside was each individually sealed prosthetic in its own resealable bag, and it also came with their cute little keychain. I'd like to point out that I ordered 4 prosthetics at the same time, and even though they all came with these plastic bags, I only received 1 cloth storage bag, which isn't a big deal because I find that these suffice just perfectly fine, but it was a little bit weird. But overall, I'm a really great fan of how Axolom does their packaging, how they use a box and give you resealable bags, and even a cloth bag alongside it. And of course, I am a really big fan of this keychain. So for my first impressions of these, the first thing I will say is I'm a much bigger fan of the C4 coloration versus the C3 coloration I got for my Willy. And I think it's because these are less translucent and they also aren't as orange as the C3 comes off as. I was also very much prepared to say, okay, the Echo and the Echo Lite are the same prosthetic, it's just this one has a tab and 3D balls in it. but actually the way that they do their silicone is different too. The Echo Lite is actually a single pore silicone, so it feels the same through and through. It is very squishy, I'd like to point out, but with the Echo, it actually has a sturdier skin around it, and the inside almost feels like gel. Same with the actual sack itself with those 3D balls inside. They're quite small, if you can see them right there, but overall this is a small prosthetic. I really liked the feel of the Echo because it's so squishy. It almost reminds me of those stress balls that you get, and I found myself grabbing this while it was in my pants while I was just hanging around the house, and I had to stop myself so I wouldn't get in the habit of that. Some other differences between these are this tab, which is quite stretchy, so I don't know how well this would work for adhering it to your body, but you totally could. I could totally see a sheet of GenderCat adhesive fitting onto this, or you could just put it in your waistband to help hold it up in your pants. The back of these have a slight curve to them, and if you notice, the Echo Lite has more of a pronounced curve on it. For the Echo, even though the entire thing is this really squishy silicone, I think because the skin is a little thicker right here, it's a bit firmer right on the base where it's going to be pressed against you, but it's still really comfortable. Both of these are the uncut version because we know I prefer uncut prosthetics, but they do have cut versions of both the Echo Lite and the Echo. And when I reached out to the company, they're actually trying to make an Echo XL in the future, which I would love to get my hands on and compare it to these two. For detailing on these look really good. There's vein detailings on it, texturing on the balls. You can see right here, the tip is fully closed off, which I enjoy, so it's not a half cut, half uncut situation. And it even has some nice skin texturing here on the tab and just on the shaft itself. The pinking that you're seeing on the balls and tip are actually tinted silicone, so this coloration won't rub off with time, which I always love that Axolom does that. Something I did notice because I got both of these at the same time is, I don't know if it's because of how soft the silicone is or because it's like two different types of silicone is poured in this, but the skin texture shows up better on the Echo Lite than it does on the actual Echo. Let's see if I can show it to you on camera. I don't know if it'll show up very well. I don't know if it's showing up very well, but this one you could definitely see more of the actual skin texture lines versus this one, which looks a little more flat. Another thing I noticed is there's a very ever so slight color difference between these, where the Echo is just a tad bit lighter than this one, and it's not very noticeable unless you're pressing them up against each other and really looking, but I just wanted to point that out so you were aware. I think, again, it has to do with the difference in the type of silicone they're using. Another thing that this dual type of silicone causes, if you can see it right here, there's a step where it's this really squishy silicone versus the base where it gets a bit firmer in the silicone. It's not too noticeable, and if you were pulling this through your waistband or your underwear, you wouldn't notice it at all. For looks and realism, I'm going to be putting both of these in it all right. I wish there was a way to color the veins on this like they did the tip and balls, but I can't imagine how much more labor that would add and drive up the cost. Also, the fact that the skin texture on the Echo isn't as visible as the Echo Lite and looks a little more flat hurts its realism. But I do think that both of these are good looking packers overall, and again, I'm really happy with the fact that they color the tip and the balls. So for packing with these are really compact and squishy packers, so they're super comfortable and make a more subtle bulge, which I'm always a big fan of. The balls on the actual Echo are quite small, and the balls in general on both of them are molded quite small, which I prefer overall because I find that larger balls make it so your bulge is a little more unwieldy and it's harder to pack. The entire sack of this is filled with that same really soft, squishy gel silicone, so it makes it super comfortable to wear, and it's really great for someone with large thighs like myself. So I think that the Echo compresses better than the Echo Lite because it is a softer silicone, but both are super comfortable to wear. The only issue I had with the Lite compared to the actual Echo is because there wasn't a tab, sometimes it felt like it was kind of tilting in my pants because it's not held upright. But I don't think that's going to be a big deal if you're wearing tighter underwear. For comfort and packability ranking, these are both going into daily driver. These are super comfortable, and I never really had to worry about it looking like a boner because it is so soft and compressible, and the fact that it's a very compact packer. I will say that I think that the Echo Lite makes ever so slightly a larger bulge just because it doesn't compress as much as the Echo, but I didn't think that that was a big of an issue. The silicone on both of these is really stretchy and really squishy. You could kind of see that this one's a little more stretchy and squishy, but overall they're still very comfortable. Because this one is a dual polar silicone and they do like a tougher skin around it, they're able to get away with using a softer silicone without it getting really tacky and unwieldy. Both of these have a bit tack to them, but I wouldn't say they're like oily or sticky feeling necessarily. And again, cornstarch fixes this type of thing right up. Both of these I feel would pass a grab test, but ironically enough, I feel like the Echo Lite does a better job of feeling like a real flaccid penis than the actual Echo, even though this one's softer. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, quick little anatomy lesson, a flaccid penis is going to have a softer outside, and on the inside it's going to have a firmer core, which I feel like this feels a bit more like that in pants. For my squishiness ranking, I'm going to be putting the Echo in Jello just below the Mr. Limpy. This really is such a soft packer, and if that's what you're looking for, then this one is 100% recommended for you. For the Echo Lite, I'm going to be putting this in Water Wiggler. It's on the softer side, but it's not so soft that it'll compress completely flat in your pants, which I actually really like. So, what did I think about the Echo and Echo Lite? Well, I really do enjoy both of these packers a lot. I think, especially for the price point, that they have a lot of great detail on them. Again, I love the fact that they tint their silicone instead of painting it on. The fact that the Echo has dual pore silicone, 3D balls, and a tab which you can adhere to yourself are really great features for only $17 more. These both pack really great, and if you like to pack smaller, this would be 100% recommended to you. Or maybe in the future when they come out with the Echo XL, that'll be a better one for you if you like to pack a bit bigger. Another thing that I'm really happy about with these is because they're 100% silicone, they're going to be more durable and last longer than something that's a TPU or TPE material, which could cause bacteria growth, or it's going to rip a lot easier. For my overall ranking, I'm going to be putting Echo into must-have. I think for what you're getting for the price, it's a really great deal, and I think that if you wanted something a little bit more high-end without paying that much, this would be really great for you. I'm going to put the Echo Lite in would recommend, a very high would recommend, because again, I really do enjoy this packer. It's really comfortable, feels great, great price, and it has a lot of the same great features as the Echo. It's just for that extra $17, you could get the OG Echo, which just has those 3D balls and the dual pore silicone, which makes it feel more realistic. But if you want a simple packer, then this would be great for you regardless. So that was my review and ranking and comparison of the Echo and the Echo Lite by Axolom. I hope you found this video entertaining, informative. I hope it gave you some insight on these two prosthetics, and if you have any questions about these ones or about any I've done in the past, please let me know. Have a good one. Both of these I feel would grab a pass test.